Hey, we're back at the topic again today here with something exciting to talk about. It's kind of been a long time coming. We've all been hoping for it, and with the 25th anniversary of Pokemon, it kind of makes sense to do something like this, seeing as in the 10th anniversary, a certain game came out back then. Now, of course, all of this is not concrete. It's all rumors. That's what Joe Merrick of Cerebi always mentions. Pop the tweet up on the screen. Thank you, me editing. I always appreciate you. But today, of course, we are going over the reasons why Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes are going to be the next games. I'm going to break down, obviously, reasons. I'm going to break down, like, the logistics of it. And then, of course, I'll get to the obvious elephant in the room. Or should I say rhino in the room. The big rumor that dropped on Thursday, because it's a big one. So, of course, we're gonna go into the potential reasons here, and, of course, as always, it ain't Jungle yet, but this is Nintendo Enthusiast, so links in the description if you want to check this out. This is dropped back in early November, actually. Basically, it's 10 clues that GameFreak is reviving Generation 4. I'm basically going to give a quick rundown. I'm not necessarily going to read it, but you can pause it if you want. Because of course we have 10 clues. So Game Freak's Trail of Breadcrumbs is the first one. They've done this a lot with past games, but yeah, Game Freak has done these before, whether or not it was like the strange souvenir in the past, but this one was a definite weird one, where it's like, does this area seem like a power spot to you? Who in the hell would have known what that was? Nobody would have known that. But that, of course, is hinting at G-Max and Dynamaxing in Generation 8, which I still hate. So, the other things are, it's like, you know, it's the right time for the Sinnoh remakes. Of course, it's the 25th anniversary. It entirely makes sense to do such a thing, and while on the 20th anniversary they dropped Generation 7, realistically, it doesn't make any sense to drop Generation 9 so soon. They haven't really done that since Generation 5, but at this point, it kind of doesn't make sense to do so. So, this is some of these are grasping at straws. So like Hop's Krogunk statue, realistically, it's just a statue. It doesn't necessarily mean anything. The Pixie Plate in Generation 4, that actually had been in the game since X and Y, so it doesn't really make any sense. And they're talking about like new Reggies, but again, that kind of has been a thing. Obviously, in Generation 4, they brought back the Reggies in here, in this specific area, like in Platinum rather, with all the things in the different locations in Sinnoh. So, but that is the thing. Mythicals and fossils held back for Sinnoh remakes. This is the big key one, and I'll read this one specifically because, like I said, a lot of the Pokemon that are currently in Generation 8, they're all there, right? A lot from most of the generations, but there is one generation that is missing, and it's like, where did it go? Where did it, like, it kind of leads to a point. So I'm going to read this one specifically. Who could possibly forget about Dexit, the controversial decision by Game Freak to slim down the Pokedex? Sword and Shield launched with 400 Pokemon, and the DLC added around 200 more. That said, there are still missing Pokemon from each generation, and Generation 4 in particular really seems to get the short end of the stick. This is something I did notice, and back when the DLCs came out, June and October, we all came to the conclusion of, like, a lot of Generation 4 Pokemon are missing. There are currently 44 Sinnoh Pokemon left out, but the bigger issue emerges when you realize what's missing. Remember how I said Game Freak's All Legendaries promise did include mythical Pokemon? Well, many of these rare Pokemon, most of whom were originally only available via special event, do appear in the Crown Tundra, but none of them are from Sinnoh. Every other generation in Pokemon history has at least one mythical representative. Every other generation in Pokemon history has at least one mythical representative in Pokemon Sword and Shield, but none from Diamond and Pearl. No Manaphy, no Darkrai, no Shaman, no Arceus, none of them. It's crazy. Similarly, now that the DLC is out, Sword and Shield contain every fossil Pokemon in the franchise history, except the ones from Generation 4. So Cranidos and Shieldon are not in the in the games either. So it's very mystery laden. You can even find a living fossil Pokemon roaming around in the Crown Tundra as if they never went extinct, but the Shieldon and Cranidos lines are nowhere to be found. All these strange exclusions make perfect sense if Game Freak is holding them back for Sinnoh remakes. You know, there is a lot more in this but that is mainly the one I wanted to cover. Like, you have stuff like Dynamax Adventures in the Underground, or Crown Tundra and Mount Coronet, how that looks, Ultra Space and Type Null, but as you look deeper into that kind of just looks like stuff that is maybe hanging by a thread to referencing Sinnoh. But realistically, you kind of look at all of, like, especially with this picture, where it's like, what are we actually trying to look for? But when you really get deep down to it, it does make sense that it is the most likely possibility. We, of course, have the usual suspects of games that are going to be dropped in 2021. This includes no game, but let's kind of draw the line there. Let's try to figure this out, really. So you have, of course, the biggest option is Generation 9, but realistically, it doesn't look to be a thing or a possible. The last time we had such a short generation was, of course, in Generation 5, when it dropped in September 2010 for Japan, but then it dropped in 2011 in the spring everywhere else. So realistically, and then Generation 6 started just 2 years after that. That's really realistically the only time, but the problem is there was 2 sets of games that came out in that generation. That was, of course, Black and White and then Black and White 2. We've only had 1 new game, and I wouldn't even really count the DLC dropping as the 3rd version or the second pair of versions of the same release region as the 3rd game. I wouldn't count that, so that doesn't make any sense. So we're still lacking that 2nd game. The other things are, I don't think that they would take the Let's Go route with a remake here, whether or not that's Johto or even Sinnoh. Especially, it wouldn't really follow the same path that we had with Fire Red, with Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire. Just kind of tossing aside a Let's Go version of Sinnoh, that really wouldn't make any sense. Another option is, of course, the 3rd version or sequel, in a way, for Sword and Shield, but it really wouldn't make any sense to do that. It would have to take the role of Heart Gold and Soul Silver or Black and White 2, but like I said, I don't think it would take the route of Heart Gold and Soul Silver, because that would require a new generation, and I feel like if they did take the route of Black and White 2, people wouldn't be excited, because that would be Year 3 in Galar, and it's like, at that point, what could we really expect? And another thing is something that happened in 2015, where we had no game. This has happened in the past, where we had no game in 2015, no game in 2008, I believe, and of course no game in 2006, but the recent trends tend to point to something else, so I don't think it would be that way, especially with it being the 25th anniversary of Pokemon. They wouldn't not drop a Pokemon game on the 25th anniversary year. That doesn't make any sense. So that leaves 1 game. Diamond and Pearl Remakes. And that is, of course, what we're looking at here. Once again, shoutouts to PokeJungle. I always appreciate you at least dropping the rumors. It always gives us such stuff to talk about. This is the main rumor. Of course, as always, there's a rumor warning tag on these, so take it with a grain of salt, because it's not necessarily concrete yet. The South American Pokemon fan site Central Pokemon claims that Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes will be revealed in February and released later this year. They state that the games will feature gameplay based on the main series rather than the 2018 titles Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. This year is the Pokemon series' 25th anniversary, but it's also 15 years from when the original Diamond and Pearl were first released in Japan. Although there's no official confirmation that the games will debut, fans have speculated that the timing makes it a good point to release remakes. In fact, one of our latest articles also discussed the possibility. Another interesting thing is that there's a web domain that was actually claimed, I believe. This one right here, you can see it. Breaking news, diamondandpearl.pokemon.com domain has been enabled. The other thing is that, where is it? Yes, it is a 403 error. That means there's content there, but it's forbidden. Only the Diamond Pearl subdomain was enabled. All others are not resolved. Black, White, Ruby, Sapphire, Hello World. So, keep it with a grain of salt, but it could be a thing. This is the article, of course, that PokeJungle was also hinting at in the previous rumor article. I'll link this in the description below, but what do you think? What games do you think we're going to get? Because, again, it's the 25th anniversary. They're not just going to leave it at that. That makes no sense. This is why I think it's going to be Diamond and Pearl Remix. But let me know what your opinions are down in the comment section below. If you did enjoy, don't forget to show your love on the like button and subscribe to join the squad today. With that, though, I want to thank you for watching. I'll get you back at the top later on, because that's how we do what. I really hope we can get Sinnoh Remakes. That's why you hear Jubilife City's theme down below.